intro, please.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. And no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
This is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to.
That's right. Bringing you our own brand of news right here inside Shroud of the Avatar, 5 days a week, like nobody else's business. I'll tell you what. And of course, today is Thursday, September 22nd, 2016, here inside of Shroud of the Avatar. And it's a bleak day. It's a rainy day out here, and it's a sad day here in Shroud of the Avatar.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have some bad news to share with you folks out there. And Jack, would you like to...
Yesterday we lost one of our community members to a battle with breast cancer, and that was Lacey. And not to be confused with Lace, this was Lacey. She was also one of the decorators, and she was in the EVL guild where before she was in BMC. So she had been struggling for a while, and she has succumbed to that battle. So
yeah, she lost a good fight, and she touched many people here, as well as that was just the kind of personality she had. I mean, they're just a loss for words, the outpouring of support. I had her as a friend on Facebook, and the people she worked with in the airlines, the people she gamed with. I had Starr come to me last night going, dude, did you hear? He says, and he literally, I mean, he was devastated. He played UO with her for, his gaming career. They came over here into Shroud of the Avatar together, and she made an impact on a lot of people's lives here. So we only feel it fitting to just share that with you folks, and of course, bring this broadcast in her memory today. Now, Tristar had actually asked me, he says, hey man, you think you guys could talk to LB or someone and have a memorial erected? And I was like, man, I don't know about that. And I want to touch on this topic because it was an interesting topic. And I'm like, this is one of those things that we're going to have to deal with here in this community. And this is the first loss that we've had in this community like this, where she had touched so many people's lives. Now, I was out there on Facebook yesterday, and without having to ask a soul, I was watching Scott's Facebook, and Scott, right flat out, this is how deeply she touched people. And Lum is not the kind of guy who warms up to people easily. He just flat out said that he is placing a spirit in her remembrance down in the necropolis. And that floored me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't say anything more than absolutely amen, fantastic, Scotty. Gotta hand it to you. That's finesse. So, with that said, yes, she will be memorialized by the developers. Her spirit will live on down there forever and ever. And in the hearts of many people here. Holly, is that why you're wearing the pink dress today? It's Holly's not in the room.
No, she's not. She said absolutely in chat.
Well, that was to something else. I assume
Ah,
she was commenting on what I
That's the
was saying.
delay. Yeah.
Yes,
And
and that is absolutely
I
why. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, Lace was one of the decorators also in Hometown, and so release after release, she was also helping out decorate. And I know that Justin has actually said she essentially saved her ass on more than one occasion, just getting Hometown decorated for everybody.
She was amazing. I mean, she had just a bubbly personality. She was willing to help anybody, and she took the time to sit down and spend time with people. Um, and again, I've never met her personally. I only met her through the game, but from everything that I've done and experienced through that, and just the outpouring of the stories I'm reading from friends, family, other gaming community members, and not just here. She had other game communities where she did exactly the same thing, and it's sad. Very sad loss when we can't find a way to defeat something like that.
Holly has confirmed. Yes, it is.
Yes, I saw that. So of course, this is something that we're going to have to deal with in this community. There's a lot of bonds made. We constantly promote getting together for all these player gatherings. I've just recently come back from Dragon Con. We had a ball. I met a lot of people who I never otherwise would have ever met in person. Same thing went for Hobloth. Same thing went for our trip last year. And I'm going to tell you, folks, you always go, yeah, maybe next time. Yeah, maybe next time. You know what? Stop thinking about next time. Make it now. Because it's stuff like this that just floors you and goes, you know, we knew she was sick. We knew she was fighting it, but nobody expected to get this news like this. While she did keep everybody in touch with what was going on and let people know when she was going for chemo, when she wasn't feeling good, she let people know. And, we discussed that and we helped console her and make her feel better whenever we could in the little ways we could. But, man, it's heartbreaking. And of course, a fitting memorial is just a small tribute. Now, of course, I've heard from quite a few people out there, and I understand, and I haven't seen the post. I went looking for it. But this Saturday's Church of the Dark Star, the service will be in memory, of course, and for Lacey. And I urge everybody to get out and please show your support. That's right. Gix has got the pink. I actually went out and I have some of the pink dyes on me. So if anybody here feels like they would like some to change a color, unfortunately, what I'm wearing I can't change, but I will have a piece of equipment that I will wear in memory. Come on over. I'll go ahead and give you a pink dye. If you guys want to help support the charity to help fight breast cancer, it is a way to show your support. There is the breast cancer support in the Making a Difference area here in Shroud Avatar in the marketplace. And that was sponsored by our own Shooter Jennings. Right. He decided when he put his Countach album out there to donate a portion of the proceeds to breast cancer. So if you want to help support that, I'm going to also urge everybody to get out there and go ahead and show that support. Or, of course, you can donate direct to that charity. But the in-game support and the outshowing of support for your community, I can't speak enough of this community. These folks floor me day in and day out. And least we can do is take the time to pay our respects. And we have no purple llama, pink llama.
It's the pink llama. It is not the drama llama today. It is the memorial llama.
But of course, again, I'm at a loss for words, of course. It's just difficult
Well,
to be able to.
it's really hard to articulate the loss and the feeling of losing a community member, especially when they were making such an impact and a positive impact. And it's one where her loss is going to reverberate, not just the short term, but also in the long term as well. Just because of what she was doing for the community and what she was doing for others. And because she was one of those lights.
Oh, absolutely. And again, when you see Lum just step up and go, and of course, he's always got posts out there, and one of his big ones is "Cancer sucks," and he's had a couple of them this week, unfortunately, and that was up there on my wall again this morning. But I was just flabbergasted to see that, nobody even had to ask. He was like, "Nope." She made that much of an impact that, he says, "First thing I go in tomorrow, I'm putting a spirit in Necropolis." And Scott, I applaud you, my friend. No better tribute.
Yeah. And the fact that he's willing to do that, and it's one where you really do realize that the devs are also part of the community and the interactions, because this game is so open, and the fact that, we have friends that are the actual devs, and we actually talk to them quite frequently, and they listen to us. And the fact that it's a two-way street, where the fact that Lum is able to do this, and I've got the post up on my screen right now, where Lum is actually talking about the commemoration, and the fact that if there's other better ways that people can commemorate or share memories of Lace with him, and he can find a way to incorporate that into the game. And I don't know what to say.
There's a post in the forums. I don't have Lum's up, but I do have a post by Onyx. Onyx, she was a member of the EVL Guild, again, as we mentioned. And formerly she was with us in the BMC. And again, somebody pointed out she always was here dancing on the pianos. And I think we should reserve a spot up there. But let me put this up on screen for everybody.
I need to find that link.
Yeah, I'll give it to you here real quick before I put it on screen. And this is for you guys in this room as well. I'll put it out here for you folks. I don't know why I can't copy over there anymore. But I have a backup. And that's the forum post by Onyx. We'll get this up on screen. And, of course, he's breaking the news to everybody. And if you want to go ahead and send your regards and your best wishes, by all means, go chime in on this post and show your support. Again, what an amazing, amazing lady we've lost. Oh, here we go. The lovely Mistress of Chaos, Miss Amber Rain. How you doing today, Amber? How's things? How's this news affecting everybody over there?
The news is affecting us as hard as I'm sure it's affecting everybody. I'm still in shock from when I heard about it last night to waking up this morning with all the work ahead of us that we're going to be doing for her. But It will never touch as much work as she's done to everybody's life. She was such
by
a
no means.
shining light, a beacon of hope and strength to everyone's life she touched.
And again, it was. I mean, really. I mean, it's. I'm emotional over it, and I mean, all I ever did was play with her in game, talk to her. But she was just that kind of person. She was just so open, so giving, and she would do anything for anybody here, even when she wasn't in the best condition. And she didn't hide the fact that she was having this fight, and she shared it openly with the world. And it's rough. I look at how young she was, and I go, she was a couple of years younger than I was. I am. And it just, I was having a conversation about people we've lost, and there's too many people who are my generation who I've lost already, and it hurts, when you see this happen. Now, I've heard word that the service this Saturday is going to be in memorial. Would you like to comment on that and tell the folks what's going to be happening Saturday?
Well, when I heard the news, of course, I approached Wendy and I'm like, we need to have a memorial, a celebration of life, because Lacey would not have wanted anyone upset. She was a very strong person and would want that. So a celebration of life will be happening at 11 a.m. on Saturday, which anyone who's part of the community knows that's normally the church's time. But it will be happening in Cottage Grove at her fashion area. I will be taking a trip there with Wendy later today and making sure everything's set up for it. But that was one of the places that was who Lacey was. So it's going to be happening there on Saturday.
Absolutely good news. And yes, you're absolutely right. She wouldn't want us to mourn. She would want us to celebrate and go on. And this community will do that eventually. But we will take our time to remember and reflect. And again, people, the friends you make here are really lifelong friends sometimes. So don't hesitate to go out and meet that person in real life, to take these trips and go take that risk. Amber, I mean, I can't speak for you, but I know your story. I mean, you have put up with, a battle and a battle and a battle yourself, and you've been, fighting a good fight yourself. And it's always something that just, never know. I mean, when I see you in the hospital all the time, it's like, God, is she going to is she going to get out of this time? It's just never nice. Never nice to deal with.
I think Lum said it the best on one of his Facebook posts yesterday. Cancer sucks.
Cancer sucks. That's exactly what I woke up to this morning's post. And again, he is a loud voice there. It's not the first time I've seen that. And when it hits home for him, he posts it to let everyone around them know, that it's felt by many than just the person who's afflicted with it. My mom is a double cancer survivor, so yes, she had breast and kidney cancer, and God willing, she's 72 and still with us here. So, it hits more than just a few people. And again, I urge you guys to come out and make comments and show your support on the forums. Make suggestions over there for Scott to look at, because again, this is going to be something that we as a community have to face. That we're going to lose community members, and if this is going to be the time where we're going to have to look at this and say, how do we deal with this as a community? Do we start a place where we can have a memorial area for people we've lost? Ideas like that, because I really didn't want to bring it up, but it's out there in the public now, and it's something we gotta talk about. It's gonna happen, and unfortunately, we have to deal with it, starting with Lacey, and it's very unfortunate. But please share those ideas if you have any other memorials that you've put up someplace of your own, somewhere in the world that you plan to dedicate for things like that, or if she just touched you personally in any way. Please let us know. So send us a screenshot or invite folks to come out and see and share it, so that we can celebrate in her memory. Um, I think that's the least the community can do to show their support for the other players. Again, my story started with I came in, started playing, and I wound up in the hospital. And Wind Silver Moon, and I believe it was
Striker.
Striker Sparhawk came. He came in all the way from Tampa, and she came in all the way from the East Coast. An hour and a half and 2 hour plus drives, respectively, to come visit me in the hospital. And that was all it took. That's what sealed my life here in this community. When I saw people who I'd only spoken to and just recently met inside this game came just to be by my side and cheer me up, I said, "Man, this is something. This is something different." And for all my time here, it's absolutely probably the best community that I've ever had the pleasure of being part of. And I mean, places where I grew up, we had community. Places where I've lived, we had community. None of those places hold anything on the people I've met here. These people, we're diehards, we're enthusiasts, we're nerds, we're a different class, we're a different breed, but we're family, friends, and community nonetheless. So I'm going to urge everybody again to come out Saturday, 11 a.m., and that is New Britannia time. Of course, I'm sure there'll be posts on the forums. It'll be on the community calendar, and of course, we'll remind you all again tomorrow about this. But again, anybody got any suggestions for things on memorials over time for people in the community? Please get those suggestions in. Voice your opinions, because it's things like this that help make this community stronger and bring us even closer together to showing support for each other. So with that, I'm going to ask if anybody's got any other comments or things they would like to say before we move on to some other not so sad news.
I don't know. I've got nothing.
Same.
Yeah, I know. It's tough, folks. It's tough. But of course, again, something we're going to have to accept here. It's one of those realities of life. There's only one thing that I'm for certain of, and that's we only make this trip once, and nobody gets out alive. So enjoy this trip while you're here.
Amen.
Amen to that, folks. And I'm going to be there on Saturday by hook or by crook, just because I'll lose a little sleep, and it's going to be well worth it.
If I may, Laz.
Absolutely. Now the time is open. We'll preempt the whole show if some people got stuff they want to share and say. But please, by all means.
I just want to point out, I know a lot of people, they have a difficulty going to a church. So I want people to realize this is not a church service. This is a memorial service for one of our own. And we live, game, and do everything together for years. Some of us, we do it with each other more than we see our real families. We're not just friends, we're families. So I would ask everyone who wants to come out to please come out. Put the whole church thing behind you. It's not that. It is for a wonderful woman who touched so many lives. And after the service, the celebration, there will be time for you also to come up and be able to speak then too. So I just wanted to point that out for anyone that's looking to come on Saturday.
Now, I don't know how many of, I'm sure probably most of our listeners and viewers, and of course yours, know what the Church of the Dark Star is. And for most people, I don't think most of them realize what it truly is, that it's really not church, where you're out there doing. I mean, it's more of the way I've seen it in the ones I've attended. It's more community outreach. People take the time to reflect, and you take the time to put together a weekly sermon, as it may be, that deals with all sorts of topics in life in general. It's really not.
That is exactly what it is.
Pushing a religion down anybody's throat.
Service.
It's even more non-denominational than a non-denominational service is. Yes, it's non-religion based. Thank you.
It's just dealing with the concepts of the virtues, essentially.
Absolutely. And of course, this is done every week for those of you folks who just want to take some time and listen in and reflect on some words, because Amber here has got some really powerful sermons out there, as it may be, for the lack of a better word. And I've sat in quite a few, and you still air them afterwards?
I air them during and then after. They're all posted on SoundCloud for anyone that's ever interested in listening to them. But I wouldn't have brought that up myself today, because that's not what this is about. So I'm not here to promote myself.
No, but again, just, it was, again, because I want people to know that if they happen to miss what happens this week, that it's going to be available for them to catch again. So if they want to take the time to go back and do so, they can. Of course, again, any of that information that's community-based, we want people to know about everything that's out there available to them. And again, we don't want to make a promo out of this. But of course, for those of you folks who are wanting to show your support again, I do have some of those pink dies on me. If you want to just come on over and open a trade window, I'll give you one. Just go ahead and share that support for our beloved Lace. It's the least little thing I can do. And again, today's show is in memory of her, because again, she touched many people here, and it's just been overwhelming to see. So, we do this show every day. This is the least little thing we can do, just to say, we're going to miss you. And you've touched so many of us.
And I'm kind of hoping on Saturday, one of the reasons I actually made sure I was up in time to be here, NBNN, huge part of the community. I would like to know if you would be there to be able to broadcast it on Twitch and everything for us, too.
I believe we can get that done. I do absolutely believe we can do that. So then we'll go ahead and just plan for that, and we'll be bringing you that live on Saturday morning then. And there you go. That's how simple that is.
Thanks, Laz.
Okay, anybody else got any things they'd like to say or share before we move on here? I know everybody's been quiet. I did get a message from Carrie Death asking me if I had a way to get a hold of Aradon, and I do, and I will get a message out to him. I know he's not around regularly. And again, for those of you folks, if you know somebody who's not playing on a regular basis, who has in some way been touched by this wonderful lady, and they probably haven't gotten the news, please get the news out so that they can attend and of course come join the community in this remembrance. Okay,
that's also a good reminder for people to, if they have actually come across people and they have just dropped off the radar, try to find ways to actually get a hold of them and talk with them. Tell everybody that they're missed and you want to hang out, whatever. And so it really does because you never know when a tragedy like this is going to strike. And so
that's right. And of course, that transcends even beyond here. There's somebody out there you've been meaning to talk to, somebody out there you've been meaning to write a letter, make a phone call, whatever. Pick it up, do it, make that call, reach out, touch that person, because you may not get to. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to a little bit of a lighter note for today. While not something that's totally news. I got a package earlier today. We've been waiting on, and of course, Amber, I don't know if you've gotten yours, but I'm going to show this on screen. Of course, for those of you folks out there who know, I have not received
my package yet.
I know.
Want my package.
He wants this package. Our good friends, the Recap Band, aka the Space Bards, recently had a Kickstarter, and that was to put out their new album, Pronoia. And for those of you folks out there who backed Pronoia, and they have a backer package that was depending on what you got. Those were shipped recently, and I got mine today. So I am sitting here with my copy of Pronoia, signed by the guys. Finally came out. So for those of you folks who backed them on Kickstarter and have been anxiously awaiting, they have been shipped, and they are currently en route to you.
Did that package also include things like the hoodie and the
absolutely
t-shirt?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, well, we're gonna change the tempo a little and just get away from the sadness and show a little bit of the what this community does out there. I did get the hoodie. I got the one in pink, nonetheless, but just throw that up there for the folks to see. That is the back. And the front chest with the Recap logo on it. And then we got the sleeve with the Recap down the side. Yeah, I went for a little mix and match on this. So for those of you folks who are waiting for your packages, look for those to arrive soon. Sorry there, I'm trying to get back in my seat. And again, this community does all sorts of wonderful things. I back Pronoia. We have Indy now out there. She's got a Kickstarter out there for an adult coloring book. Which I have yet to back, but I want to get in on. The artwork looks fantastic, and of course, that's what you expect from indie. And there are several other community projects out there, and of course, if you're interested in building a community project, it's going to be something that you think the community will be interested in. Of course, by all means, go ahead and just get it started. I'll tell you what, things like Avatars Radio and NBNN only got started because a couple folks got up off their ass and started doing things. And Amber, I mean, I give you props all the time, and we share stories, and I mean, if it wasn't for somebody like you getting AR started and bringing the media to the people, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't have probably started with doing the live stream newscast that we do here today, and I always give you credit for being one of my inspirations for this community broadcast. And of course, there are many other people out there doing community stuff, streaming, decorating, all sorts of stuff here in the community. So if you see people out there running events, doing Kickstarters to bring you all sorts of cool stuff in the community, by all means, Go check them out. Go ahead and back them. Um, I'm going to point to another one real quick, while slightly unrelated. The Ultima Dragons, UDIC is celebrating 25 years, and they're going to be celebrating in Disneyland. And they've got a Kickstarter set to get this big old space out in Disneyland, California. Richard, I believe, is already signed up to go. So if you want to go meet Lord British, a bunch of the old, what was it, the Origin Systems guys, the people who helped build that stuff back in the day, the UDIC is doing something for the community, that side of the fence. And of course, they celebrate Shroud as well. So just a couple community items.
Yes, several of the members of the community are Ultima Dragons. I was number 16,000.
I just recently had my birthday. For all the years. I mean, and it's a funny story. I mean, for years and years, I've gone out to the site 20 dozen times. And I'd go to get signed up, and I'd start searching through the names, trying to find the name, then something would be squirrel. And in all the years, I never got to fill out a damn application. And I finally got off my ass a couple of weeks ago and actually filled out the application, and I am now Brooklyn Dragon. Now, how it took me so long to come up with that one, I don't know, but...
Well, I am Cynicist Dragon. I was always hesitant to actually sign up as a dragon just because of the real name thing. But yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even that. I mean, I was always interested. I mean, I played Ultima Online. I mean, I was well aware of the dragons for a long time. And literally, if I'd signed up years ago, I mean, I'd probably be in, very low number on that list, but just never did it. Don't ask me why. And again, this is one of those life lessons. If you feel like doing it, jump in. Is you can sit there and look at the line, or you can cross the line, or you can just sit there wondering what it's like to cross the line, and you sit there forever wondering what it's like to cross that line. Don't wonder. Cross that line. Go find out. Go find out what's out there. And again, one of the reasons why you folks see a lot of me going to a lot of these conventions. One of those things. I can't do a whole lot of anything, but can I sit in a car and take a trip? Can I walk around a little bit and meet and greet people and sit down at these events and chat with folks? You bet your sweet ass. And for years I always said, Dragon Con looked cool. This con looked cool. That looked cool, but I would never get up and do it. Too much time, too much effort. You know what? I've had some of the best times of my life in the last year and a half, getting up and doing those things. And you know what? It's got me so motivated that, again, we come here 5 days a week to do this for you guys. I try and travel as much as I can to these events to bring you live videos, pictures,
and
all that.
To meet the players that are actually making a positive impact.
And yes, and just to sit down and meet these folks who are so like-minded, and not just like-minded, but you'll find that there are many attributes that a lot of these folks that we all share and have a commonality with. And I'll point to Richard on this one. A lot of people have a lot of different political views and views on one thing, and he's got people on the left, he's got people on the right, he's got people from every direction on any topic of, you want to pick, from politics to space to underwater exploration to, you name it. But it's always a level-headed discussion, and he always likes to point out when he can find commonalities with people, even though they have differing viewpoints.
Oh yeah, it's all about civil discourse, and
the one thing thing I've found meeting a lot of these people is not only do we have differing views a lot of times, but we have more things in common than we ever thought to begin with, was what really blew my mind. That most of these people are interested in several other things that I love to do, and or are doing things that I've had an interest in, but just really didn't take the time. So they've been able to expose me to. Yes, Starr, absolutely, buddy. After we had that conversation last night, I was reading in the forums and I was waiting to tell you. So, yes, she is going to get that. She is going to be a spirit down in the necropolis. And I believe that should be a more than befitting tribute. For those of you listening on the air, I told you about Twistar asking me if I could talk to the guys about that. And he just chimed in my chat there going, Lum's going to make Lacey into a spirit. So, yes, my friend, she will be remembered again. If you're just listening in, you know that we've been talking about her today and just having our memories and just sharing the feeling, Oh, don't worry about that. If I know Lum, it's already in there and we'll have in the next release.
Next patch.
Twistar wants me to make. He says he said it, so I want you to make sure they do it, please. No worries, my friend. That's not going to be anything you're going to have to worry about. Well, you're going to be able to go visit her whenever you want. Yeah.
Lum has already said he's already done it.
Yeah. Oh, so there you go. Already done.
Wow.
How's that? So we have verification that it's already been done and it will be there next time you go visit after the patch. And again, this is what blows my mind. Again, Twistar came to me and I said, dude, that's really tough. I don't really want to broach that with the developers because it opens up a gate. Do we have to do this? Should we do it? Is it morally right? Is it politically correct? And again, we're going to just take all that, put that all aside. We didn't have to even ask. Lum stepped right up because she was such an influential person. She made an impact that he just stepped up and said, tomorrow morning when I go into work, I'm doing this. And I believe he wholeheartedly did so without making a phone call going, hey, I'm going to do this. Is all right. He was going to do it because it was the right thing to do. And again, this is probably going to be something that, again, will be case by case. But I would like to see a place where, aside from Brittany graveyards, where those people who have their markers already reserved, as it may be, maybe an idea that if people want to donate theirs up for a lost community member, or make some additional room to, or even an additional scene. We can lobby for that and ask for a place like that in the spirit world where we can, have memorial services, memorial markers of the like. So again, Lum has solicited this, as far as I understand, on Facebook. And I'm sure we'll see it pop up in the forums here. So if you guys have if you guys have ideas on this topic, feelings, thoughts, all that, and of course, let's keep it civil. If you don't like the idea, please, if you got to say it and be done with it. Don't be, stand by the D-bed. Don't be a dick. This is something that's going to have to be discussed. It's going to be something that we're going to live with in this community. And it, saddens us that this happens to be the first person who gets this indistinct honor, as it may be, because it sucks, really does. But thankfully, being such the powerhouse that she was, such the generous person, this allows us to bring this out into the open, maybe a little bit more easy, as it may be. That the community knew and loved such a person that It'll make it a little easier to talk about this openly, how we handle this in the future, and of the like. So, of course, again, if you guys have thoughts, comments, opinions, I'm sure it's going to be in the forum soon enough. And, of course, I've linked up the We Have Lost Our Dear Friend post from Onyx and the EVL Guild if you guys want to send your condolences there. For those of you guys who have her as a friend on Facebook, there's a lot of commentary there. I've got something here. Hold on, I've got a message here from Onyx. Okay, never mind. He's updating me about the Cottage Grove thing. Let me read this real quick. We got a couple minutes.
While you're trying to figure that out, everybody, don't forget, you can always donate to any kind of breast cancer charity in Lacey's name, or get yourself checked. The majority of breast cancers are actually found by self breast exams, not by. And so, do yourself a favor and go ahead and look for any kind of palpable objects. I mean, that's how it normally starts off, is like a little nodule.
Yes, sir. Early detection is a must to beat that bad boy. Again, my mother is double survivor, and breast cancer is what she beat first, thanks to early detection. And of course, then she had secondary cancer in the kidneys, which she had to, she lost a kidney and a couple ribs due to that as well. But again, due to early detection, she was able to beat it. And she's over 10 years survivor now, probably closer to 15. And again, happy to share that information. That, again, it's not something that I don't know anything about. Believe me, it's touched home. I spent many days just hanging out at Mom's place, after she had chemo and all that stuff. So I definitely know and understand what this does to people. And again, families, friends, communities. It just doesn't touch a few; it touches a lot of people out there. Now, I'm getting some updated information from Onyx here, and of course, it's got to do with all the memorial service. He says he's posted some new stuff in the forums, and Amber, you're probably going to want to get together with him on that. And again, we'll be bringing you more on this tomorrow as the plans firm up. Word has it that the guys down in the offices will have some kind of mention of this in the newsletter tomorrow.
Yes.
So just again, it goes to show you that not only did she touch the community members, she touched the developers, she touched everybody she met here. And again, it's hard. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to just carry through and carry on. We will celebrate in remembrance, and we will never forget, what a wonderful beam of light she was in our lives while we had her.
Onyx, and just so you know, Onyx and I are currently actually speaking on Facebook. So
Okay.
Everything that you're reading, I'm probably in discussion with him on.
Gotcha. So again, just wanted to point that out. And again, just read that the developer is going to be making some kind of commentary. Again, this community is absolutely awesome. I love all you guys. And we've been here for you guys. We've been part of the community. We try and get everybody involved as much as we can. And again, we invite you guys to come join us. And if you want to come in over the next week and share stories, by all means, don't feel you're interrupting. We get that a lot here on the show. Well, we came in to talk to you guys, but I didn't want to interrupt. You guys were talking. You know what?
Laz doesn't shut up.
Please.
So you have to interrupt him.
Interrupt me. That's right. That's right. And of course, today is one of those days. While it's a soapbox sort of, it is. I felt that this needed to be done.
And that is exactly, I have to say, that is exactly why the memorial on Saturday is happening. Because as soon as I heard, after my heart shattered, I was like, this needs to happen. And so I approached Wendy immediately.
Yes.
I was like, this has to happen.
And my condolences out to you, Carrie. I know you guys were BFFs and always inseparable together here in the game. And all our other friends, again, family, anybody she's touched, my condolences out to all you folks as well. But meanwhile, let's go ahead and give the folks today's calendar before we wrap it up. We're not going to do much else. We're going to skip the
sponsors
today. We'll just give the folks the calendar before we wrap it up, and then we'll do some final words here on the way out.
Yeah, I gotta bring it up. Chrome decided to hang up on me. I think I've got too many tabs open.
Yeah, well.
I would like to remind people that, guys, get yourself checked out too. There's an estimate that about 2,000 cases of male breast cancer happen each year in the U.S. alone. So
absolutely.
Get yourself checked out.
Yeah, we're not just talking about breast cancer here, folks. That's right. I've hit the 50-year mark. I've had the colonoscopies and the endoscopies and all that stuff. And I tell you what, they took a golf ball out of my intestines thanks to early testing, and it was benign, thankfully. So yeah, I mean, again, life's too short, folks. Don't let petty squabbles, don't let an argument, don't let that phone call go. Make that trip, take that vacation. You know what? Take that day off. Make that time for the family members.
To put it in
that loved one. Yeah.
To put it in a really good way, take this moment to tell that person you love them, no matter what degree you mean it. Just say, Laz, I love you, man.
That's right.
I love you.
And Amber, I got a special place in my heart for you. Always have. And of course, people don't know the little relationship we have behind the scenes. She's been a friend and a love from the minute I met her, because you're just that kindred spirit. The chaotic balance I needed in life to get me started here. And of course, Jack, I love you, man.
I love you, baby.
And of course, we love some people more than others.
Oh, boy.
We're not going to talk about that. But you got that up there on the screen ready for the
Yeah, I do.
folks? Let's go ahead and get this up there.
I need to move a little image so that way it's seen.
Yeah. I'm
there.
moving mine over a little bit there, too.
Yeah. So our community calendar is brought to us by Avatar Circle, which is currently administered by Kazan Phoenix Fire. You may also find him on the forums or in Discord as Wrath Phoenix. Don't forget, it is a Google Calendar, so you can connect to it. You can do all kinds of things with it. But so you can have your events added to the calendar by registering and communicating with Kazan Phoenix Fire. And registering at avatarcircle.com. Today is Thursday, September 22nd. All times are Central Daylight Time in the real world, but we prefer to refer to it as New Britannia Time or Game Server Time. Today at noon, 3, 6, and midnight, we do have two idiots talking about... Actually, no, it's a memorial service on Radio Free Britannia.
After a respectable conversation today.
Yeah, yes.
Two idiots having a respectable memorial service today.
That's right. Yeah. And then at 4 o'clock, if you're interested in listening to Avatars Radio, you can always tune in to Gone Country with Golden Wing Okan. And then at 6 p.m. on Avatars Radio, we have Dr. DJ Sully doing his Faster and Louder show. At 7 p.m. That's right. If you are interested in some PvE, you can always join the Phoenix Republic for PvE nights. At 8 p.m. on Avatars Radio, DJ Striker Sparhawk's doing his eclectic flow of tunes with his show called Lost in the Spaces. Also at 8 on Radio Free Britannia, DJ Nurse Justin's doing Unmedicated Schizophrenia Part 2. And if you're interested in some PvP, we're going to have some PvP tonight with the Gladiator Wars. Registration lasts between 9 and 9:50, and the Gladiator battles begin at 10. And the final event of the evening is going to be on Avatars Radio, and that is Temper Tantrum Tea Days with Ember Flame.
Now, is that interesting tonight?
Something just froze on my computer.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Speaking about the temper tantrum, that's normally a Pollux Evanhart's a set, and another person to send prayers out to.
Yes, and we're still looking forward to his return. Has he returned to the airwaves yet since his surgery? If I may ask.
He actually did send out a message. He has not returned yet. His healing is taking longer than was planned. The right side of his throat is healing up nicely. The left side still has a hole in it, so he's still going through a lot of healing and can use some positive thinking in his direction.
Absolutely. And of course, we sent out our love to him when he was having his surgery, which just goes back to show you we do keep in touch with the folks who we meet and interact with here on day-by-day basis. And, we know what happens. Whenever Amber winds in the hospital, I usually get a PM telling me whether it's serious or not, or, if it's just one of those blip things, which she's prone to. Sometimes she's in and out before anybody knows. But Pollux was in recently for some surgery, and the community got together. And again, not the first time I've seen it. When somebody's had some kind of operation or some downfalling, the community gets together and puts together a card to help lift their spirits. And of course, any more news we have, if I find out about anything else that you can do to donate or send flowers or something like that, if you're that close to our Lacey, we'll bring that to you as we get that. Of course, we will remind you and tell you more what's happening for Saturday. We're now going to be bringing that to you live Saturday morning here on NBC to share that with the folks. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. Of course, again, we're just talking about Lacey and just the tragic news and how life is just too short sometimes. And again, it affects so many. So of course, again, reach out to those folks. Don't take life for granted. Enjoy your time here. Live every day like it's your last. And enjoy what's around you. Basically stop and smell the flowers, folks, because nobody's going to take the time to do it except you. And when you realize all the things you might have missed, or the what haves, or I should have and could have, it ain't worth it. Don't be sitting there going, well, I could have done that. Be the guy who said, yeah, I did that, man, and I enjoyed the living hell out of it. Just do it. That's all I got to say. But meanwhile, we're out of here for today. We will be back tomorrow with the weekend roundup, giving you the information about what's going on the weekend here in Shroud Avatar. and we will bring you the latest news on what's happening with the memorial service tomorrow for Saturday's service. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. And of course, we love you guys. I love all you folks here, and I look forward to spending many, many, many more years doing what we do and sharing our time together in Shrouded Avatar. With that, I'm out. This is Laz.
This is Jack.
And we are NBNN. We will see you all tomorrow, folks. Thanks for watching.
Preox.